Hello students, welcome to your English class. Hope you all are doing well. In today's class, we are going to learn lesson number 2, the Master Artist Textbook Exercises. This is the index of what we are going to learn. Grammar and usage, words in use and writing. Starting with grammar and usage, first we are going to learn what is a preposition. A preposition is a word that shows a relationship between a noun or pronoun and another word in a sentence. Prepositions usually come before a noun and give information about time, place, or direction. In the word itself, preposition means they tell us something about the position of a noun. Examples of prepositions. Here you can observe some examples of prepositions. You can see the picture and you can understand very clearly. In the box you can see where is the ball. The ball is inside the box. So the preposition is in. On the box. Where is the ball? It is on the box. So on is the preposition. Similarly, we have other prepositions like under, next to, between, among, in front of, behind, above, below, near, far from, down, up, out of, into, toward, away, past, over, onto, off, around and under. These are some of the examples of prepositions. You have a textbook exercise on page number 14, A bit. Complete these sentences with the correct prepositions. You can find the clues using those prepositions. Using those clues, you can complete the above exercise. Now we are going to learn about kinds of prepositions. There are 5 different types of prepositions. Simple preposition, double preposition, compound preposition. It is also called as complex preposition, participle preposition and phrase prepositions. We are now going to learn about simple prepositions. Simple prepositions are words like at, for, in, of, on, over and under. Simple preposition means a preposition in one word. When we use one word in the preposition, it is called as simple preposition. These common prepositions can be used to describe a location, time or place. Examples: he sat on the chair. So the word on is the preposition. It is given in one word. So it is called as a simple preposition. Another example is there is some milk in the fridge. We are using the preposition in. She was hiding under the table. Where was she hiding? She was hiding under the table. I am using only single word to describe the position. So it's called as a simple preposition. Compound prepositions. Compound prepositions are also called as complex prepositions. They consist of not one word. They consist of 2 or more words. Usually a simple preposition and another word to convey location. Some examples are in addition to, on behalf of, in the middle of. You can observe here we are not using a single word. We are using more than one word. So a compound preposition, which is also called as complex preposition, here we use more than 2 words. 2 words or more than that. For example, she sat across from Mary. So here to complete the sentence, I am using 2 prepositions. So when we use 2 words or more than that, it is called as a compound preposition. Second one, I attended the meeting on behalf of my company. So here the complex preposition is on behalf of. Third one, we were in the middle of the storm. So what is the preposition used here? What kind of preposition is used? Compound preposition is used. How can we tell that we have used compound preposition? By seeing that they are not a single word. They are given in two or more words. We have an exercise on complex prepositions. Write sentences as instructed. Complex prepositions. You have this exercise on page number 14, B bit in textbook. Refer the exercise. Going on forward, we have words in use. In words in use, we are going to learn about verbs. What is a verb? Verbs tell us about all the doing or action words. Whatever action we do, it's called as a verb. If I tell you to sit, you will sit. You are doing some kind of action. If I tell you to sleep, you are sleeping. You are doing some kind of action. So all the action words or doing words are called as verbs. Example, you can observe in this picture. Monkey is walking, hanging, standing, pulling, throwing, pushing, jumping, holding, sleeping, sitting, swimming, painting, climbing. So these are the some examples of verbs. We have textbook exercise on verbs. Complete these sentences with the correct words from the text. Already these verbs are used in the textbook. Using those words, we have to complete the above given sentences. Please refer textbook page number 14 A bit to go through this exercise. Then we have phrases. As we have learned in lesson number 1 about phrases, we have the same topic in lesson number 2. A phrase is a group of words, two or more words functioning as a meaningful unit within a sentence or clause. We can understand group of words, but they don't give us a complete sense. They don't give us a complete information. In phrase, we have different kinds. Noun phrase, verb phrase, adjective phrase, adverb phrase and prepositional phrase. Choose the correct phrases from the bracket to complete these sentences. So you have to refer textbook page number 15 B bit. There are some phrases given here. You have to select the suitable phrases for the below given sentences and complete the exercise. Please refer this exercise. Next, we have the final topic, writing. In writing, we are going to learn how to write a diary. A diary is a book in which one keeps a record of events and experiences. A diary extract or entry is a passage that describes this information. Features of a diary entry. If you want your diary to be brilliant, then you are supposed to follow all these rules. I have included the date at the beginning. I have written in the first person. I have described the important events in a person's life. I have written in chronological order. I have included adjectives to describe feelings and emotions. I have included time connectives. I have included informal language and phrases. I have written mainly in the past tense. I have ended with a reflection. If you follow all these rules, then your diary will be a brilliant diary. This is the format of how you are supposed to write the diary. How will you begin? You have to begin the diary by starting with day, date and time. Then you will write the salutation, Dear Diary. Next will be the body of your diary. Whatever is the matter of your diary, you can write it there. And finally, you will be ending with your signature or name of the writer, whoever writes the diary. We ourselves write our own diary. Diary is not written by somebody else. We write our own feelings and emotions and all the events, whether they're happy or sad, we write it. And one more thing you might have noticed in this format is everything is written on the left side. You have to follow this format when you are writing a diary entry. You have an exercise in textbook page number 16. What is that? You have to imagine that Signe Labe was in a habit of keeping a diary. He must have written about his special project, Batroli's portrait, as he was working on it. But would he write in his diary the day Batroli saw his portrait? Write a diary entry imagining yourself in Abaye's position. You may include these points. Some points are given there. You have to imagine that you are Signe Labe and you have to write the diary entry. How you felt as you finally finished the portrait? How you expected Batroli to react? How you felt when you saw his reaction? If you will paint any more pictures and in what style? These are the points you have to follow when you are writing the diary. I hope I was clear with all the textbook exercises. Thank you, children.